The audio is working well for you guys in the way of music and my voice. Also, I know Countdown still exists, so let's go over here. But yeah, hi. Happy Friday! How are you guys? I forgot to replace the witch, did I? Oh well. I will deal with it. Maybe next day or two. We will see. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Not been up to terribly much. Was going through the acrylic basket. Managed to get the sweater out a lot easier than I expected to, which I still need a bit of red yarn to get through the rest of this thing, you know? Which I know I need to go and poke somebody about that. Although, again, more than likely it's probably gonna have to wait until if I get my next payout this month. Maybe, if I'm lucky. I'd have to sit down and see if that's even possible, but who knows. Also, follower meals have not had a chance to add anymore, so currently only 2 out of 5 slots filled. I have another 3, which I already have ideas on, but, I got stuff to do, so don't have time for that. But otherwise, sweater time for a bit today, and then the crochet hoodie. I was gonna chainmail, and then I was like, you know what? Let me see if I could dig out the sweater. And I was successful. Also, while I was waiting for laundry to be dry, ready, I had to figure out where I was, which I actually smartly paused at a good point, so yay me. So I'm glad about that. Also, for this, look at this. I got this from Devi Cat, which this is probably going to be my last personal purchase for the year. Cute personal purchase. Because, yeah, I might need a phone, which is going to be fun. Which I was looking at phone options. And I'm thinking, one of the OnePluses, not the more recent ones, because I don't got several hundred to be like I'm made out of money, but there's the what's its face, OnePlus N100 Nord or something like that, and that one's probably gonna be the one I go with if I manage to get a hold of that before it disappears off the face of the earth, because it's at a reasonable price. It's double my storage right now of phone storage. Which I do, have a micro SD card that doubles the storage anyway, but it means double actual phone storage. Although I know technically, just because it says 64 gigs, it's not actually going to be 64 gigs. Gonna more likely be about 50 something, given, the operation, the OS and all that stuff, information is going to be in there first. So, yeah, I'm starting for less than 64, but definitely more space than what I have. And then, my only main thing is the fact that sometimes it's not picking up calls, which, that's kind of important. Like, very important. And it's like, I don't know why. I would factory reset it to see if that helps, but more than likely, it's not going to, because, once the phones hit nearly the 2-year mark, it starts to be annoying. The battery's not that bad, I will give it that. The battery is not that bad. Like, I don't have to charge it multiple times a day, which is wonderful. But, yeah. I probably need a new phone, which most of the phones have a USB Type-C thing now, which, they have been slowly getting to that, so I'm not quite surprised, but when I was looking at all the phones that I would get, like, in the under 200 threshold, which also the Pixel 3 XL, but, that one I'm just like, nah. But that's only because apparently update stuff and things they hadn't gotten to. Not hadn't got to, but I think, like, they stopped doing updates for that now. So I'm just like, Alright. I'm just opening the sweater thing, which, for anybody who's curious, black sweater. Which I had to figure out which size I was doing again, because if anybody remembers this was like early this year. Like, I'd wager February? March? Yeah, in there. With this stuff being... what's its face? This is Nitpicks, though. I'm forgetting what it is exactly, but it's Nitpicks. Brava. Brava in their worsted weight. Not actually worsted. This is definitely more of a DK, as I say every single time I bring up Brava. And then this other stuff I've got from England nearly 3 years ago now, when I went over there from their Poundland, which, you know, their version dollar store, so that's a thing. This is buried in with all the other acrylic stuff, which I kind of wanted acrylic sweater just in part so I can have something I could just dunk into the washing machine and dryer. Also, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, yes, community goals. If anybody who is hanging out here, which... let me double check if chat's doing the thing like it's supposed to. I presume it is, but I just want to double check. Okay, cool. Things look like they're functioning correctly. I just want to make sure, you know, Twitch ain't broken, because that is the story of my life sometimes, so better safe than sorry. But yes, currently community challenge going on for me to potentially play Hades for, you know, charity stuff and things also. Oh, when did I bump that back there? You get back down a little bit. I forgot it was that high. I think I was working on something else. And I put the camera a wee bit high. Yeah, that's better. That's better. But yeah, it's been a while since I worked on this. Also, unrelated things, and stuff that I'm probably gonna need, which also why filling up the goals is very much helpful. The lamp thing, I think, has probably hit its end, because literally other than it staying up this way, it has a very, very hard time staying up like it's supposed to, like literally just maybe this angle and that's about it. So I think I'm gonna need a new one of these, which I was looking at on Amazon. Should be able to find one with, like, you know, those bendable goosenecks instead to avoid this issue. Thank you! You didn't have to, but I appreciate you! Thank you for those bits, Stacy. Also, hi. How goes?
Let's get this bit goal started.
Oh, speaking of, you can use the drop game. Yeah, this time of the year it's quiet, so I don't expect much to happen. That's why those little bits are bouncing around, which I was too late for. Oh well. Also, I forgot, it's still the cauldron. Oh well, I meant to change it back to the fall one. Oh wells. Will I land in the cauldron? Nope. Just skimmed out of it. Oh well. Which is... Indeed. How goes? I meant to pop in your stream yesterday, but I did not get a chance. Although, I think it was more I was socialed out, and then I was just like, I'll just sit here and stare at other things. But yeah, so... yeah, this is also a thing. Also, it looks like my stupid Swift is broken. Which is not stupid, it's just more of I'm annoyed that it's broken. I don't want to have to wind things by hand. And I know there's like a $21 one on Amazon, so... ooh, yeah, I know, I saw the title. I figured you'd be talking about that, because that's getting started soon. Which, that looks like it's gonna be fun. I might get started on that, we will see. I know it's not required. But it definitely should be fun, and very much helpful to anybody who wants to, you know, learn how to knit socks. When, oh, and fit and measuring, and feet, and the almighty cut, yay! Yeah, especially if you're doing a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, they ask about the cardboard foot cutout for such reasons, which is helpful. but any other heel would definitely accommodate for that as well. You'd be able to see if it would fit. But the thing is, with the cardboard foot cutout, obviously make sure that, you know, it's not too tight too. Which, you know, it's gonna be just right, Goldilocks style. But yeah, yay! Can't wait for that. Let's see, where am I? I use it for everything because I'm too athletic. During fair. That is fair. Which, I'm wearing the Belief in Yourself socks right now because I hadn't gotten to wear them yet for this year, so I was just like, been wearing them for the past day or two, and I'm just like, I love these. These are my favorite, although I still hate that cuff for anything and everything. I hate that stupid cuff. I will tell you that right now. They're pretty, but I hate them. Alright, so we figured out where the totals is, so 20. You will now work even. Round gauge. Work 6 rounds. Your yoke measures. Blah 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 blah. Ending with a round 2. Okay, I'm trying to puzzle this out. Are usually not the same. Fair. Because it kind of depends on comfort, in part. But, you know, getting the pretty things done is a pain in the ass, so it's like... Oh, also, I got cute Debbie Cat pin. I'm not sure. I think there might be some more left in our shop. I don't know. Also, I think I need to turn the gain down. This might be a little bit excessive because it's getting bright. Because of course it is. It wasn't this bright when I turned everything on, but now it's getting brighter. Because of course it is. Why? Alright, but yeah, that's better. Isn't it cute? I love it so much. It's probably gonna hang on the bag, although I need to actually still sew the goddamn handle on the bag. Yes. It's in her Ko-fi shot, Debbie Cat. I love it. Because she did a thing... Kitty Acrylics? Yeah, with Kitty Acrylics. And it's like... And look at these heart things on the back right here to cover the pins. So fun. It came in a lot sooner than I expected, because I got the... no tracking method, so I expected this to like take until next week to get here. And it's like it literally shipped like 2 days ago and then it appeared at my house and I was like, okay, cool. This works for me. But yeah, this is probably gonna be my last indulgent, cute purchase of the year. I love it so. Which including shipping, it was $21, so nothing really, really fancy or expensive. But I like to indulge in things. Even though, you know, it's not like I have a 9 to 5 currently. Plus, I kind of don't want to be in person for things. Because I don't trust many people. Anyhow, let me figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with this pattern here. Which, if anybody wants the pattern, did I put it here? I don't think so. I'll have to check the bot, but I'm pretty sure I did not put it here. Where are commands? Commands is right in my face, is where it is. And then there should be pattern. Okay, that's for the socks. Evil choices, which that no longer counts because I finished those. Woohoo! Alright. Which, Flax sweater, which given she has her own website, I can link that and not have to send everybody to Ravelry, which very much is helpful. So, Tin Can Knits. Where art thou? On the website. Tin Can Knits. Flax pattern. There we go. Because I had that open one time. Because I was trying to figure out how to do shit. Let's see. Which I kind of don't want to do one of these out of hand spun at one point down the line. Alright. There it is. Submit. And we're good. You should be able to get the pattern from there now also. Let's see. Is this important? I don't think so. Yeah, I already saw that. Not important. Alright, cool. Ta-da! Alright, so now that we have that all set, again, let me see what the hell this is. Also, Stacy, how's your day going so far? I presume you're in the midst of work. So I'm guessing quiet enough if you manage to poke your head in here. Which we're not up to the separating the sleeves part here, but we're pretty close. Which this is the original version of the pattern I've got open here. There's a updated version for like a bit more size inclusiveness, which that'll probably be the one available to download. Alright. Okay. Thank you. Hilariously, this is what, the beginning of the year when I picked these colors, so... Not sure why I went with this, but I think it's because I don't really have a ton of red sweaters, plus I added a bit of a cable on the sleeves because, of course I had cables. Let's see, do I have a tape measure or do I have a ruler? I can probably check either way. I just need to check if my gauge is the same. If so, I can probably go shorter or longer. Okay, do I not have a ruler around here? I usually do. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go over there and grab one of my tape measures, looks like. So, let's see. I'm gonna have to move a thing or two, so let me put me on the be right back screen for just a quick second. Not going anywhere, but just gotta grab a tape measure. Both of them are over there. Thank you for the host! It required me climbing the chair, so had to do that. Oh, so it's not this light of red, it's a little bit darker. But yeah, still red. Let's see. Let's see how my gauge is going. Because they say what? What is gauge supposed to be right now? Okay, 22 rounds is 4 inches. So 2 inches would be 11 rounds, which is easier to count. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12. So, just a little bit under gauge, not by terribly much. Although, I don't think... Well, actually, these 2 yards might be close enough, which is probably why I use it. Oh well. Alright, so let's see. I can just do about... about 4 rounds or so. 4 to 6. It says 6, but given I'm not at gauge or whatever, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 is probably better. Also, why are we stuck on there? I'd very much appreciate if you would get off of the stitch marker. Because I kind of need you to, in order to knit things. Please and thank you. Come on. Come on. I did not think I would leave this sweater in Project Purgatory for so long. It was not intentional. Just got busy with other things, which very much is not good for remembering projects. So Vams, how are you doing? How goes Friday? If you're not busy and are available to talk. Ooh, nice. Found a scam star yesterday since my youngest has been. Oh no! I hope it's just a cold or something. But yay, sock. I have not knit a worsted weight sock, but I certainly want to try at some point for a thicker sock. 100 too feeble, all she wants is snuggles. Oh no. I hope she feels better. That sucks. Yeah, that's not a fun time. So if you want the pattern for this set, but bit better. Okay, just not herself. Okay, yeah, so she might just need to chill out for a day or so, and hopefully things should regulate themselves. Presumably. Based on what you're saying. Not that I'm trying to give medical advice, because that's against, you know, the whole contract I signed as being an affiliate. So I try not to screw with that. It's like, yeah. But I have to make sure I say something along those lines to cover my ass. Signing contracts is fun. You can do exclamation point pattern. It'll send you to the website. But this is the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. Yeah, I just added it earlier. Because it was on the socks, which I had just finished the other day. Which, this is a free pattern. There is a Flax and a Flax Light if you're going to go for, like, say, sock weight or so. But this is kind of like a very blank canvas. Rocket! Hello. How you doing? Also, yay. Yeah, this is probably my second sweater ever. The first one I didn't really use a pattern except for, like, the V-neck portion. Which I do like a V-neck more. Honestly, this is a little bit close. Haven't made one yet. Yeah, that's my only problem, is that I feel like the neck's a little bit close to me. Not like suffocatingly so, but I don't like close necks on things, personally. That's just me. Yay, on being alive. That is good. Hope all is doing alright. I'm feeling kind of bleh. A really tight round. Yeah. That's why it's like next time I'm probably gonna see about if I do this, which I had tried it on my head and it's like, it's not bad, but it's like close enough that's like, I might do it on larger needles. I can't stand, I don't mind scars, weirdly enough. Like I wear all my scars as scarves and that's what I prefer. Because I can easily take those off, but you know, anything close on my neck, like say a turtleneck, I have to take a while to adjust to it because it's uncomfortable to me. Like even if it's a really soft material, if it's close enough to my neck, I don't like it. Do 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 do. In order for a wedding that I might have to... Oh, wow. How big of an order was it? And... that feels like a lot to attend a wedding and do the catering, because catering for a wedding, from what I've seen, is no joke. Plus, you know, large gatherings make a lot of people, myself included, very nervous. Presuming this is a large gathering. And I'm presuming you know these people. I mean, yeah, given the past year, nearly 2, like anything with like a large group of people is just like kind of makes me skittish. Which I imagine that's gonna be a thing that enough of us are gonna have to try and, you know, work through. For just fair. Not everybody's into the large group of people, so that is completely understandable as well. Not a bad thing. Oh, okay. So you can't just be like, nah. Unless, you know, yeah. If they're pretty much considered family, that makes it a lot more than if, like, you don't know these people or anything along those lines. Lady Temptress, thank you for the follow. How you doing? How goes your Friday? I hope you're doing well. I am here knitting a sweater that kind of been in Project Purgatory for a bit. Unintentionally. But I hope you're doing well. Alright. I think, yeah, I'm almost up to the second path. Huh. I have not heard of that show. Some beginner sweaters that have been in purgatory I need to pull off frog and just try again. You're gonna find the time maybe. Another great news, I got all the hour and lining pieces out. Yay! That is good. I'm getting things. Oh, what do you happen to stream? Is it craft things or, you know, the menagerie of other things available to be streamed across this crazy land of Twitch? Okay. Crochet, cross stitch, and knitting. I have not gotten the cross stitch. Cross stitch is cool. But I think because it's kind of like sewing to a degree, it's one of those things that's not really in my personal wheelhouse, but that's just me. But I do enjoy the look of it. And agreed, that does sound like fun. Let me go and check your channel. I'll have to click again. Yep. Get it to do the thing. Depending on things and stuff, I might pop in. Where are we? There it is. I'm not trying to press the host button. I'm kind of streaming. How would I host if I'm streaming? I feel like that button should not even be available if you're actually streaming at the time. Because it makes no sense. Because, like, that shouldn't even function if you're live and on stream. Anyhows. Definitely do hope to be able to catch you sometime. I do personally do a bunch of stuff here on stream. Knit, clearly. Crochet as well, which I'm gonna pull that out. Okay, yeah, that would just break everything. Crochet, chainmail, spin, also weave. Weave is like the smallest of things. Digital traditional art and sometimes games. Sometimes Stardew Valley, but my computer can actually handle some things, so I'm actually allowed a bit more variety of things I get to game. So, stuff and things. I grew up with their dad. Ah, okay. That makes more sense. Okay. In context of why you would have to attend, potentially. Which, let me ask a question. Is there a command for, like, what I'm actually working with at the moment? Like, what kind of yarn I'm working with? I'm not working with anything fancy right now, if that's what you're asking. Okay, this is Nick Picks Brava in... I forget what the color is right off the top of my head, but this is their worsted, but... You know, it's a little bit thin to be a worsted, but they call it a worsted, so yeah, that's what I'm stuck calling it. And this stuff I actually got in the gray. I had gotten in England when I was over there back in late 2018, so yeah, arguably this is definitely more of a DK than worsted. Arguably, this stuff. But either way it works, and I'm knitting on size 8 circulars. But either way, it serves its purpose and is a pretty color, so it works out for me. Come on, there we go. Alright. Let me, because I don't know the color off the top of my head right now, but I can go over to where it is and see what the color is. Wine. There we go. This is wine. It's a really lovely red. but I'm just gonna need to buy more of it. Mailed. No. She's gonna get married. Well, definitely congratulations. Had some friends recently get married too, so this is definitely of the season. Day drink. No day drinking! And what was I gonna ask? Brockett, if it wasn't people you know, would you want to go? Or is it the fact that you know them? Boys are yucky. Yeah. They grow up so fast. So fast. Alright. I forget how long this cable is. I think this is either the 40-inch cable or the 60-inch. Nah, this is probably 48 inches. 48 or something like that. I would have switched back to red already if I already had more red, but unfortunately I do not currently on me. I don't have funds currently to acquire more of it, so I'm just waiting around till then. Since this is not, I need this immediately project. Oh, also my Linktree has popped up. Hello, Linktree. So if you want to stare at all my potential links of stuff, like my Ko-fi page, which I do have digital wallpapers up for sale on there in the shop and such. Also some pins. There's also my Etsy page and Instagrams, one for art and one for drawing. And I believe YouTube? Yeah, it should be YouTube on there. Been a bit busy to get stuff on there, but I do intend on getting stuff on that. Okay, the ad part is kind of comes with the Twitch territory, especially now that we don't have, watch ads for bits anymore. Twitch sucks. So that's kind of a thing that happens, but the fact that it's kicked you out of the stream is very weird. Are you on mobile or something? That's the only way I could see that working in any way that makes somewhat any sort of sense. Daughter for the first time, she asked if I'd be interested in being a daughter. Aww. That's so sweet. If you're yeah, I sometimes watch on mobile, so. Will you be my? Aww, that's so sweet. Aww. I presume you said yes. Not you're required to, but I presume so. Oh, come on. Why are we a tangly mess right now? Why are we like this? Where's the end of this? I saw an... There it is. I was like, I knew I saw the end at some point. Her oldest daughter. Aww. You guys are really close. So I definitely understand the, albeit likelihood that you'll need to attend the function, which, do they plan it to be a large thing, or, like, say, a more intimate gathering of family and friends going on here? Gonna look for a bit. No worries, look away. I'm untangling this yarn bit here, so you're not gonna be missing anything terribly much. Come on, come on, come on. I just need to untangle. There's not much left, so it's not gonna take me terribly long. Northampton, I do not fully get what that means, because I've personally not attended a wedding since I was a small child. Guest list and... oh! Much fancy, then. And much people, if you need bouncers. Oh boy. That sounds like a lot. Alright, I think I have this mostly. Okay, no, it's not gonna come apart there just yet. Oh wait, yeah it is. Woohoo! Alright, cool. Got that untangled. Now I can proceed without any interference from that. Which... I have this... well, does it matter if this is the front side or the back side just yet? No. But I have the other side of stockinette. Most of... okay. Also, I had a thought with the neck. Honestly, if I could at some point, I would definitely love to have one of those, like... is it a boat neck? Where the ones where it's, like, kind of square? Where the top is? I would definitely would like to have a sweater with that kind of neck. That or a V-neck. Which I could definitely should be able to find how to do that. But if it's a V-neck, I'd probably have to go bottom up, which I don't mind. Boat necks are where it's a slit and then... ah, okay. Let me... oh, goody! One of those. Exactly what everyone needs. Let's see. Let me double check to see if that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, yeah, no, not what I want. I wasn't sure, but I've seen something similar, and it's called... but honestly, that would also work in the sense of it would not be ridiculously close to my neck. So, that's not a bad option either. But I'll just keep a note of that for later reference. Alright, and get that alert off of there so it'll leave me alone. Cool. I knew it wasn't something like immediately pressing, because I saw said person go online. But having the little number thing on the bottom, when I could see it. She is not- oh! Oh, lovely. Of course she will. Hence the need for bouncers. Or one of the hence the need for bouncers. Well, definitely, hopefully that works out. Also, I presume the wedding is pretty soon, given, you know, the time of year, and it's gonna start getting stupid cold soon. So, definitely gonna need to get that in, or at least have it be indoors if, you know, you're gonna have a wedding at this point in time of the year. There we go. Alright, so we finally made it through an entire round. Which, given this is nearly 300 stitches, that isn't bad. That it took me less than an hour to get that over and done with. Alright. Okay, still have this. That'll make it through the entirety of this round before I need to attach the other gray yarn. Which, honestly, if I had, like, a lot more of this, I would just do this color through the rest of the sweater and just leave the top, like, this red color. To have, like, you know, a cool bit of contrasting color. But alas, I do not. Although, does Knitpicks have something similar? Also, I forgot this is where they have the speckled yarn. Cobblestone. Although I think cobblestone might be darker than this. But ash, I know that's silver. And plus they don't have it in stock right now. Crap. Oh well. At least not on We Crochet. Is it on Knitpicks? Let me check. Don't mind me. I am just checking the thing. Would the number be the same? Maybe? Let's see. Also not available there either. Crap. Oh well. Alright. I don't need it immediately, but I was just curious if they had it. Because that would work. I feel like cobblestone would definitely be like a charcoal, almost black color. Which is arguably this is a little bit lighter than that. Although if I had thought at the time I was going to be using this yarn for a sweater, I definitely would have planned more accordingly. So I have 2 of this, 2 sparkly blacks, and like 2 yellow, like a, what color? Almost a mustardy yellow, but not, well, actually more inclined to a golden yellow color. Not quite. But somewhere in that field. Gonna need to move these stitches over. Get this thing to slide efficiently. But yeah, other than the neck, this sweater is pretty much fine. But I definitely would like to do something like this, or at least a top-down sweater and some hand spun at some point. Just for the heck of it. But I know I would have to spin a lot of hand spun. So that would be a thing. Come on. Also, in regards to wedding stuff and things, definitely do hope everything works out just fine. Sorry, my brain is like incredibly focused on sweater. So I realize I haven't said anything in a couple of minutes. Whoops. Not that I'm required to be speaking the entire time, but I try not to lapse into too much silence. And come on. Okay, I'm kind of... Okay, let me turn up the gain. I was like, why is it dark? Because I turned the gain down earlier. I forgot. Let's close that thing and then turn this gain up a wee bit. It's better. It's looking a little bit too dark. Now you guys can see that much better. But yeah, just a reminder, community challenge going on, which that is in regards to with our Twitch channel points, which are currently below your respective chat windows, whether it be both on a PC or on your respective mobile devices, which this is going to be a fun thing for charity. I'm pondering whether it be this month or next month, but more than likely, it's probably going to be, I'd say, middle of December, where I do some gameplay every day for Project Linus, and I mean every stream day, not every single day of the week. I'm not streaming 7 days straight. No thanks. I like my sanity, thank you. But we already got through the GeoGuessr goal. So now we have Hades going on, which we were at like 21% the last I checked. No, 22, because it's at 5, yeah, it was a wee bit over 5,000. And the goal amount of channel points that I'm going for that is 25,000, like the previous one. So I am hoping that'll likely get knocked out of the park before time elapses, which we definitely easily should at this rate. Since we have how many days left? 24 days, yeah. We have over 3 weeks left until that elapses, so we definitely should get that done. Which, for anybody curious about what Project Linus is, Project Linus, which, yes, that Linus from the Peanuts, da 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 da. Ah, the Peanuts. Childhood memories. Anyhow, basically that project is essentially keeping kids warm during the colder months of the year, as is where we are right now, and slowly gonna get, even colder as the months progress. So you can either make them blankets, make blanket squares, or contribute financially to whether it be a specific chapter or to the charity in question in like general, and they'll just distribute the funds as they see fit. So I figured, have some fun, play some games, and hopefully make some money for charity. Which, my only thing and where I'm struggling right now is like potentially what I would do for goals. Like, if you hit a benchmark, what would I do, sort of thing. Because I don't want to do anything, like, too elaborate. Because I don't want to create, like, serious amount of work for myself. Although, I'm wondering if you guys would, like, contribute some prizes, maybe? Potentially. That would also work. But yeah, still in the planning stage for that bit. And also, I know this is... Yeah, I am past the hour mark, so... Let me get to this stitch marker area, which is right over here. Also, I hope I didn't wander out of frame. OBS is currently not in my face, because I went and clicked on something, so... Do not see OBS at the moment. There it is. Ta-da! I can now see where I'm putting things. But yeah, I'm gonna pause right where this marker is here. And then I'm gonna go take my break and start dealing with the laundry that currently resides on my bed. For the next, like, 10 minutes or so, and then I will be back and work on the sweater some more. Which, yeah, we're getting close to needing to add the next piece of this here. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be right back. Totally feel free to play the drop game. Yeah, this is really inclined to be annoying, so let's see. Face camera. Sorry. I'm trying to adjust this thing as well as I possibly can. Which, I tried to unscrew the lamp, which I did get it unscrewed, but getting the front part to come off, it was not cooperating, and I didn't want to break it and somehow mess up the wiring, so I had to leave it as is, so yeah. Because I wanted to see if I could get something to, you know, at least tighten it to get the mechanism to actually stay in place, but it won't, so alas. That's what I'm stuck with. I mean, better than nothing, but not... Oh, that's what I'm missing. Where the hell are my glasses? I'm forgetting something, and then it's just like, where's the thing that's usually on my face? Which, I actually mostly see that, but yeah, it's a little bit blurry. So I'm usually, when I'm not on stream, I am not wearing my glasses, unless I'm going outside. Because, you know, my glasses are for far away, so if I'm nearby, I don't really need them. Although I kind of should be wearing them when I'm watching the TV, but I don't. That's more so because I'm usually on the side closer to the TV, but, you know, that's another thing. And yeah, I do that sometimes. I remember one time I started screaming, I was just like, I forgot my glasses. Fuck that. Ugh. Without glasses, oh no. Yeah, that means your sight's probably a little bit worse than mine. Thankfully, mine is not that bad. It's a nearsighted or farsighted? Alright, I'm pretty sure it's nearsighted for mine, because it's nearsighted when you can't see far, if I'm not mistaken. Because I always forget the two, but I know it's typically the opposite. Yep. Alright, nearsighted. There it is. Every couple of... Oh no! Yeah, mine has mainly stayed steady. Except that one time I was wearing my glasses for like a couple of years. I hadn't like gotten anything looked at, and it's just like I started getting headaches because, you know, the eye strain. Which I was still in college at the time, so I just presumed I was just stressed the hell out because, you know, college. Not realizing it was my eyes being like, hi, we need to get looked at, like, now. So that was a thing. But yeah, thankfully, like, what? One of my eyes is like 3. I'm not a... Oh no! I had never even looked in LASIK, which I think that's about how it's spelled. That or maybe another eye, but close enough. that I get what you mean. But yeah, I've never looked into that. It's like a couple hundred per eye, plus usually it's like, hey, it lasts for like a couple of years and then you'll start to need that stuff again, and it's like... So, basically, I only get a couple of years glasses free? Does not seem worth it, but okay. Also, where's the end? Because I wrapped this around to avoid having the yarn getting caught in here. There it is! Haha! There we are. I mean, if I were breaking my glasses every minute, that would be stupid expensive in its own right. I would certainly think about something along those lines, but thankfully I do not. There's that one time, because they were kind of thin. I was cleaning my glasses in the sink and I snapped them. That was fun. Learned my lesson and never did it again. I was pressing a bit too hard. It was just like, you heard a dull snap and it's like, great. That was wonderful. I don't think I had those glasses that long either. Ba-da-da-da-da. My room got too hot. My glasses broken. Oh no! Yeah, that would make sense. Because acrylic kind of melts when it heats up. But also, how hot was it that the glasses literally cracked? I feel like that would have to be like really, really, really hot in there in order for that. Especially if it like sat in like direct sunlight. That would probably make it worse. On a hot day. And once again, the bot has spat out all the, has spat out the Linktree links to all my socials and stuff. So if anybody wants to check out all the stuff and things, like my Instagrams, one for art and one for yarn-related stuff like this. There's also, what's its face? There's YouTube, there's Ko-fi, and then there's Etsy, I believe. No dress. Temple, and I started sweating the second I walked into the, oh.
Where's Adrian?
I'm kind of busy.
What your jacket? I'm just kidding, it's magic.
I know. Punk.
You didn't see my delivery thing?
No, I didn't. I saw FedEx out there, but I didn't see the box, so I thought it was for somebody else. Plus, they didn't ring the doorbell anyway, but I don't expect anything from FedEx anyway. Fuck FedEx. That's a long story. We will not get into that. But yeah, let's just say FedEx and I are not friends. Nor is me and GameStop. Also, yeah, this in my face is being annoying too. Yeah, I'll just turn it down, because having the all the way up and at the second light is a bit distracting. Let's see if I can get it to move over just a little bit, so it's not completely in my eyes. But yeah, you can see why I need a new LED lamp. Although, arguably, I could probably put something in there to prevent it from moving and have it stay at the angle. Like, you know, a giant thing of rubber bands or something. Or, like, wrap some yarn around there well enough until it did what I wanted, which is also an option. Also, if I'm wandering off of camera, that is my bad. I do that sometimes when I'm not paying attention, even though the thing is directly in my face and I should kind of notice. Also, this is starting to unscrew off. Let's screw that back on a wee bit. That is a thing that happens sometimes. After a while, when I'm knitting stuff and things. Which is very much not fun when you're knitting things. It's like, why is there a giant gap in my interchangeables? Because the needles are unscrewing themselves off. Yeah, I managed to just screw it back on for the time being. Plus, I can always get one of those, what's this, keys? One of the keys for it, since I have like a whole bunch around. That's one of those things I forget until it happens. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing. Oh, so did I miss my phone? Yeah, I always use the keys when I connect mine. Like, and I connect them tightly. But it's just, I think how I knit and how I grip them, it tends to twist its way off. So, yeah, no matter how tightly I connect them, they will come off. Like, eventually. Not immediately, but it will come apart. Right now, Knit Picks interchangeables. Specifically the majestic color ones. I've had these. How long has it been? Like, I'd say 2 years now? If not close to 3. Although I would love the Chow Goos, but the Chow Goos are stupid expensive for an interchangeable set. It's like $150. So I legitimately could buy 3 of these sets to get one of those. I got them in a super sale. That would make sense. They ain't cheap. But they are very handy and very good. I have, you know, the fixed ones for socks and hats. But I just don't have, you know, the interchangeable kind. Ah, that is awesome. Also, yeah, 90s a lot less wallet hurting. So that is definitely a good price. Alright. Also, I don't remember doing anything. Let me double check that I actually did what I was supposed to. Okay, yes, I did that here. Okay, yeah, I've seen the zings. I have not tried them personally, but I've seen them. They kind of remind me of carbons in that same look, but you know, I think, what is it, wooden on the actual, like, length of the thing, and it's like metal tips to it, if I'm not mistaken. But they do look nice. There it is. Ah, okay, all metal. Yeah, all metal DPNs are like one of those things, especially in the larger weights. My hands tend to get a little bit angry after a while, or at least the nickel ones that I got from Knit Picks. And what is it, size 9? Yeah, I don't use those often, especially when it gets cold. My hands just, after a while, just ache. And that's like, nope, don't want it. So I prefer wooden DPNs. But that's more for like, you know, larger size things. In most cases, DPNs and I are not common acquaintances. I prefer my interchangeables more so than the DPNs, but DPNs do have their purpose, so... And yeah, that is also fair. They grip a lot. Although, with these, they have a coating, but after a while, it does rub off, which is my only real thing about them. So if you use them a lot, like, you could tell which sizes you use a lot more than others if, you know, the finish is rubbing off of it. Alright, this is round number 3, because we got back to the beginning side marker right here. So we're slowly gonna get through round 3 and maybe 4? Can you maybe? I imagine it would have to be like really thin of a coat to make sure that it could still, you know, glide over the needles like it should. Plus, I would have to find some polyurethane. Although, they have spread-out ones. Okay. That is good to know. I will definitely keep that in mind. But I know for that you probably have to let it dry for quite a while before you can use it, but eh. If that does work out, it would definitely be worth the wait time. Come on. There it is. Yeah. It's kind of like the same, like, super glue and that sort of thing. They usually recommend you to wait for a full day before you start using the thing. So that makes complete sense. I imagine those are probably similar-ish as chemical compounds go. Maybe. I am not sure. I am not a science-y person. Alright, there we go. Do. But yeah, I think these are my... Jane! Thank you for the resub. Well, is it a resub or is that the sub anniversary thing? I can't tell which one it is. Okay, it says you just subscribed.
Hi yarn, CR hi yarn, CR hi.
Hello, how you doing? How goes Friday? I'm here sweater knitting. I unearthed the sweater out of my basket of acrylic yarn there. So playing with that a little bit, and I'm probably going to switch over to the shawl for the rest of today. But how is your Friday? And I'm going to get you written down in the book and spin the wheel and see what you get. It'd be funny if you get one of the non-holographic stickers, so one of them would come back to you. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling great. I mean, yeah, you get a break, but I'm sorry you're not feeling great. Alright, Jane. I'm gonna go over to the sub wheel in a second. Also, it'd be great if I'd spell correctly. Great news. Tuesday, Spill RMP took all the parts out. Boyfriend put it back together and... Nice! Also, holy crap, that'd be terrifying. Spill water on your PC, that would be absolute nightmare. And where am I? There we are. To the face cam where I can have the giant wheel appear. There we go. Which, for anybody curious, this wheel is what I spin for anybody who subs or resubs to the channel. Which we have a couple of different things that you can win off here, whether it be points or stickers or... I just thought it was all fried. Eee! Oh, you got some floof! You almost got one of the non-holographic stickers. That would have been hilarious. Considering you printed them. But yeah, I'm gonna give you your floof and tell me a color. I presume green, but I don't want to presume what color you're working on. Wow, what color you want. I can speak and put sentences together constructively. Jesus. Where am I? That's just chord currency. There we are. Ta-da! Alright, let's see. I can probably check by hours. Come on. Yep. Because minus the bot and myself, you have like the third highest amount of hours hanging out in here. Over 600. It's terrifying. Well, actually, no, second, because one of them's that stupid commander root bot, which doesn't count. So, literally just above you is Confused Echidna, who hangs out here, which I very much appreciate. Which I have not seen her around in quite a while. I hope she's doing alright. Okay, I thought green. Alright, let's hide the wheel again. Ta-da! Also, if anybody wants to do a hype train, you could take advantage of Jane doing the sub in like the next 3 minutes, and 2 people if you want to do a sub or, you know, 100 bits or more. Potentially do the hype trains if you want to do the thing. But that is totally fine if you do not want to. But yes, I appreciate the free sub for 23 months, which is kind of insane. I'll go with Peacock. Okay. Nice. I should have waited until you said so. Because I saw you put green, so I thought you was like, never mind. But yeah. Peacock it is. There it is. Thank you. But yes, I'm glad your computer is very much alive. Because that would be very much a shit show if it did not live. Alright. Let's get back to sweater here. Yeah, come on. Alright, let's get this around here. But yeah, not been up to terribly much on my end today so far. I was here like 10 minutes, but chat wasn't working. That's weird. Twitch must have been having a moment. Had to restart my modem for some... Huh. That's really, really strange. You're the second one to have problems with. Someone got booted after seeing an ad. So... yeah, it's not just you having problems, so... Twitch must be having some weirdness going on today. I don't know. But yeah, when in doubt, Twitch has somehow broken, is usually my frame of mind. Ugh. But luckily, it doesn't seem to be a widespread problem for the moment, so... there's that at least. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, speaking of, we got our modem replaced. Because slight internet upgrade, and I'm hoping this will help improve some things. Mainly it's to improve the speed. Thank you. And I've been handed cookies. But I will save those for next break. But that's like another 20 minutes from now. Oh, also tomorrow I might just game. I definitely have a bunch of stuff I can craft on, but I might do something like maybe play some Stardew or whatever. Because I haven't done that on a Saturday in a little while. It's not something I do frequently, but at least right now I definitely feel like in that headspace, so more than likely what I will end up doing. Just for the fun of it. Also, I think I might need a new phone, and I'm just like, I don't want to buy a phone. Like, this is not the time for me to be buying a phone. If I were, like, swimming in orders or something, maybe. Or I could use that to, you know, get said phone, but, yeah. I am not, so alas. And not like, you know, I get anything expensive anyway, because I'm not fond of Apple products, so that's out. Which, I'm not saying, you know, Samsung isn't expensive either. They're probably equally expensive, maybe. But I'm thinking one of the OnePlus phones, based on what I've seen in my usual price point, is probably what I'm gonna get. If that's still available. Because, one, it's being slightly slow, which I'm just like, why? I could reset the phone and see what happens, but that'll probably only be like a temporary, like 2-week solution, and it'll start getting slow again. And then there's the annoying issue of, hi, it's not picking up calls sometimes. And it's like, I'm not sure I like that. Totally, nope, you're fine. You're fine. Not required. Which, speaking of, thank you for that segue. Unintended. But thank you for that segue. For anybody who is buying yarn and or roving, because I do sell roving from their Wool of the Andes. And also, like, I think it is, what is it? Stroll tonal, not tonal, but stroll, like their bear. The bear, so it's like you can dye that stuff and then spin that. And be able to spin yourself some sock yarn. If that's your jam. So, if you have that, or yarn in mind, or whether it be knitting or crochet supplies, there are knit picks and we crochet links. If you do ! Knit picks, you should be able to get the link. And if you happen to use my link, I believe in like the next 24 hours or so, I get like 10% of like whatever you order. Which every little bit counts. I I'm pretty sure I'm like a couple off from getting another payout, which they don't happen often. But I appreciate it whenever you can, which I'm not the only one who has affiliate links. I believe Girl November has a Knitpicks link. Is it not Knitpicks or We Crochet? Plus, given they're part of the same, you know, company, We Crochet is like essentially just a crochet offshoot of Knitpicks. You can probably, I think, use those links interchangeably, but I am not sure on that one. But yeah, Girl November has links. Sarah Dawn's Design has links, 9.5. Also, Lovely Streamer also has affiliate links, so definitely, if you don't use my links, use someone else's links. Pretty sure everyone will appreciate it. And getting back to the sweater. Which I think I split that stitch, but it hopefully should be fine. Also, I should probably drink a little bit of water. My throat's starting to do the thing when I've been talking a while, and it's like, why? There we go. So I refilled that glass before I got back on here. Just to make sure I had some water. Also, oh yeah, that would be why. 'Cause that's where I was pulling a wee bit too hard. Luckily, the yarn didn't come out. But either way, what did you buy the yarn for? I'm curious. Project? Or some gifts? Given, you know, holiday season. Da 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 da. Get the yarn to go back in the stitch, please. There it is. I need to make sure I hold on to that so it doesn't go back out. We're just gonna weave in the ends. The commission. Oh, okay. I didn't think you would need more yarn for that. Bought some muted colors and wool. Ah, okay. How big is that gonna be? Come on. No. Oh, okay. Cool. Just want to make sure I don't lose that stitch. The rest too bright and shiny. Ah, yeah. Because it's acrylic, it's a bit more shiny than, say, a wool would be. With whatever they finish it in. Which I feel like they do that so the colors won't dull, because, you know, given how it can just take a lot of abuse, I imagine that might be why, too. But yeah, Brava's a bit shiny. Red Heart is a little less shiny in comparison, which I have some Red Heart right here. Because I was trying to untangle some of that. But yeah, this is definitely less shiny than this. So I get what you mean. Although you don't feel a residue as much, so it's not bad. But yeah, if you don't want stuff to be like very attention-getting, I can understand the lack of wanting things to be shiny. Come on. There it is. Alright, so yeah, I think this is like the... Yeah, that's what I thought, because it's the beginning of the round, so that's the last side, and then we should be back to the front again. It'll probably be about second break time, about then. If not pretty close. Although I argue, Karen Simply Soft is probably a bit more shiny. I hate that stuff. Plus, you could feel the whatever they put on there for the process on there. You can feel a residue of it. It's annoying. It makes it feel like the yarn isn't clean, and it's like, please don't do that. It's kind of like if they put, like, you know, not furniture, yeah. Arguably furniture wax, but something close to it on the yarn, and it just drives me crazy. Which is why whenever I tangle the orange yarn from the depths of my acrylic yarn basket, I'm gonna get rid of that stuff. Yay! Also, photo albums are fun. We still have some of those hanging around, although, obviously, given the whole digital photo age, those are definitely not as common as they used to be. Which is a shame. I have the- yay! Nice. Is it a pattern paper? That you're gonna use for, like, the inside? Because that would definitely be fun. Come on. There it is. Alright. Yeah, most of it. Yay! Because I always love photo albums with their pages having, like, some sort of pattern. Not, like, you know, overwhelmingly busy, but, you know, at least some nicely present pattern. Ooh, pockets! I swear, I'm always just like, pockets! I like pockets. Pockets just make things a lot easier. Even if I don't use it, I like having the ability to have pockets with things. Window pocket that has ribbon. That would be cute. Still haven't finished the, yeah. But that sounds like a lovely option. Also, what's its face? Windows 11 is continuing to stare at me from the lower right-hand corner of icons, waiting for me to download it, and it's like, I will not be doing that yet. Sorry. I'm just waiting to see if everything else has, like, updates to avoid the random closing thing. Which, that is my main issue, because I'd rather not have OBS or something like that randomly close on me while in use. So it's like, I'd rather wait till I have those bases covered before I even think about downloading Windows 11. Which, I forget how long it's, like, a free download for. Four by 6, yeah. For 3x4 is, like, a little small. I feel like that'd be, like, a Polaroid? 4x6 sounds more likely. Well, actually, no, Polaroids are more square. It would probably be, like, a 3x3 or something if that were Polaroid. That too, yeah, you can always have custom sizes. But typically, 4x6 is typically the standard. Unless you want, like, larger photos, like an 8x10. Or something along those lines. But if you're especially like custom doing something, you'd probably want to do like a custom size, but typically in most cases people would just take, you know, standard sizes to avoid the guesswork. Also, I'm rambling. Alright, also, this should be round 4. Probably not gonna get all the way around again, which that is perfectly fine because break is not that far away now. Like a couple minutes. Because I picked up because, you know, stockinettes go quickly. I honestly would have wanted this to be a little bit thinner and then like have the red come back in and have like thin stripes, but I mean, no worries. I will likely be on break. Also, what kind of pizza? Although I probably shouldn't be eating pizza. Let's sigh. But I eat it anyway because I am stubborn. Alright. Alright, come on. Also, I had not been paying attention whether or not this is gonna need cables either. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not yet. Probably like the next round or so. Because it's 6 rounds of like the stockinette and then you do the cable bit. Also, it's a bit dark. I would turn the light up a little bit more, but given the lamp being the way it is right now, I'd rather not blind myself while having the lamp up in my face. Alright. No. Alright, so once I take my break, I'm going to switch gears and do the shawl for the rest of today. But I really, since I managed to detangle this sweater out of here, wanted to at least, you know, give it some time on stream here and actually get to work on it for just a little bit. Given it hasn't gotten its due fair share of attention in a while, so I figured why not. Alright. I wonder if I should watch more of The Great now that I don't have any only murders in the building to watch. I might do that, maybe. Although I was also watching that playthrough of Shadow of Colossus. Yeah, I might just watch more of that instead. Get that stretched back that way. Alright, am I gonna... No, probably not gonna make it to the other panel bit here. Which that is fine. Which, no, since I'm working on this, I have not worked on the shawl I would have to figure out where the heck I am, which is going to be more complicated given the whole hay. There are charts everywhere. The only thing is I know that it's the third chart that I last paused on, so it should hopefully not take me that long. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't get that far on said part 3 charts. So it should not be that difficult, but that's definitely going to be an offline project given it takes too long to get to the next row. Especially for a 3-hour stream. So remember, I usually end up with just 2 rows done, given how large it gets. Which is why I'm just like, probably gonna relegate you to off stream, at least until, you know, I get to the last bit where I just cast off, and I'll probably do that on stream whenever I get to that at some point, whenever that may be. And let's see. Nope. Come on. Nope. Almost there. Yeah, probably not gonna make it to the other side. Actually, no, I'm somewhat close. But it's about break time, so probably should, you know, stop knitting and actually take my break before I sit here and forget to take said break. Because my neck would very much hate me if I did so. Alright. Stop here. I usually like to stop in the next stitch marker, but it's fine. Given it's all stockinette, it's fine. Which I think this is like round 3 or 4, maybe. Either way, it's cool. But yeah, this is gonna go over in the basket for a bit, and then gonna switch over to the shawl for the rest of the stream, as I've said before, so I'm gonna go take my break, back in about 10 minutes. Totally feel free to play the Plinko because I snack on the things. But yeah, back. I should probably change the stream title since I'm no longer working on the, what's its face? The sweater. Do. So this is a casual project too, because this is half granny square shawl, which pretty much is mostly hand spun. Just regular granny stitch. Although I'm doing half double crochets instead of double crochets because the yarn's a little bit thicker in places. Because it pretty much was, what is it? About sock weight, so I did double crochet with here, but it's half double crochet to keep it looking similar to here in the size of the stitch, pretty much. Because double crochet makes them a little bit too tall. And I want it to be at least somewhat uniform. Also, where's the camera? There it is. But I'll need to adjust the color a wee bit. Because this is the bright yarn, so it's a wee bit of a difference in color here and there. And I might need to white balance a wee bit over to the right here. That's better. Ta-da! But yeah, casual project. I'm not sure where. Aw, that sucks. Alright, where did I stop at? I stopped somewhere in the middle of this row. Trying to find where the... Oh, okay, there it is. Because I was doing this a little bit last night, because this is the larger skein of this I had, so wound this into whole one cake here. Which I noticed my ball winder, the thing was slightly bent, so I had to bend that back, and it's like, oh, that's why things weren't fitting that were supposed to fit. That makes sense. It wasn't egregiously bent, but just enough that I had to, like, bend it back. Just a little bit to get it to behave. Because that thing has dropped onto the floor a couple of times, so it makes sense. I hadn't considered that first, but it makes sense. What kind of issue was it having? And what kind of ball winder is it? Mine is the Nitpicks one. I got it from there a couple of years ago. But my only annoyance is with that, you can't take apart the bottom half, or else the whole thing will break. So it's not made to have, you know, self-maintenance done, which is very, very irksome, and I hate it. Like, guys, really? Why? Like, if someone could, you know, do some self-maintenance on stuff like that, they would probably want to buy them more, knowing that they could actually be fixed. I legitimately thought I broke it when I got some yarn, specifically some hand-spun, stuck in the gears on the bottom, but it eventually gave way and did what I wanted. Just took a while. Because I imagine that stuff might be felted in there now, which is why it's less annoying. Alright, come on. There you go. That's a 5-hour supply. Nice wood one. Ooh, yarn keeps slipping. Huh. I cleaned it, washed a few videos, now just wait until I need more. Is it like a tension thing? That's the only thing I could think of, really. Like, there's not enough tension. Thus not allowing the yarn to stay in place, although I have no idea what it looks like. So I'm definitely could be speaking a bunch of crap, so let me just go look at this thing. That would help. Let's see. Fire artist. Supply. Jumbo winder? Or is it tabletop? Yeah, winder. It would not be the Swift. Swift is a different thingy. Oh wait, no, the winder is for the... Hold on. Wait. Ah, one of these. I think I've seen these before. Something similar. I think Rogue Knitter had something somewhat similar. Also, dear God, that price. That hurts my soul. A lot. So one of these? Although 10 ounce cakes is really, really good. Also... Oh, hey! Yay! Nice. Okay, that's update on that thingy. Cool. But yeah, I've seen stuff like those, and I like those. Because it's a lot... I feel like it's a lot better than, like, the hand crank that Nitpicks has. Because I know some people, like, especially if you have, like, poor grip in your hands, would definitely not like that. It's not the electric one. Okay. I didn't realize there was an electric one, to be fully honest. But I like that a lot. But yeah, I'm not sure why the yarn would be slipping off of there. Hopefully, whatever information you got from videos and stuff got you to... It was 75. Okay, 75 is definitely not bad. Although it might be cheaper in store than it is online. I don't know. Although, does that say electrical? I don't think so. It just says maple. So either it might have like, you know, short supply currently or something. I don't know. Who knows? But that is pretty. They have a video right underneath the listing to show you. So I imagine that might be it. I got my note on. Okay, then, I don't know. Not sure why. That or it could be supply shortage. Supply chain stuff and things also, that might be why. It's the same as the 150 now. Okay. Yeah, it could just be supply chain issues going on that might cause that to hike it up, although to that extent, not sure I agree with that, but I was gonna also ask, when did you buy that too? That also could be a factor in that. But eventually, whenever my knit picks winder definitely like breaks down for good, I am probably gonna get a nice replacement. So, you know, I don't have to worry about breaking. When the company was small, they didn't have electric or half the things they do now. Interesting. Could be company change and all that, so. But I do like that one a lot. If I do, yeah, whenever I do get a replacement ball winder, it'd probably be something along those lines. Although I'm not sure if I would ever need anything that is like 10 ounces, although if I do spin like a large quantity of yarn, and the stand would. Also not one I'm familiar with off the top of my head, so let's go to Google once again. Is it the same company or a different company? Let me wait before. Different stand was highly rated suggested winder. Okay. Okay, Stanwood winder. Alright. Alright, large metal yarn ball winder. Also, why can I not pronounce things well today? Ah, these. I think I've seen these. Also, that's 65, which is definitely not bad at all. But yeah, I would definitely want something with wood, more than likely, if this is the same one. But I'm suspecting it is. It's a plastic style one. Yeah. It says, yeah, it's a plastic style, but given the, I think the outside bit is metal, which is probably why they say that. And emails, go away. But yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I've seen those around. And it makes sense. But I do understand your inclination to go with the other one. So... come on. So yeah. For maintenance and yeah, that is definitely a good part of it. Because being able to check everything to make sure something's not going on is certainly an asset to things where it's like you can't take it apart, or you're limited to how much of it you can take apart. Thus not being able to get to the problem at hand in some cases. So, yeah. Definitely agree. The price, yeah, I've been hearing about that too. Lumber is not as cheap, and a lot of construction supplies have definitely gone through the roof due to various things, especially supply chain issues, so I can completely understand that. Not gonna look forward to putting away the rest of these clothes once I'm done for today. I hate laundry. Well, I hate the putting the stuff away part. About 3 times high as it was. Oh, jeez. That bad? I knew it was bad, but not that bad. Crap. But given house prices are going up too, that makes complete sense. That, you know, crucial material like that is going up stupidly high. The cost to purchase a home would go up accordingly. Or unaccordingly, depending on who you ask. Thank you! Have a good rest of your Friday. Glad to see you. Also, thank you for the points. Alright. What does that... Okay, that's about 7k. If it's not rounding up. Yeah, it's rounding up. It is 6,500. Very much appreciate you. That's 26% of the way to getting a Hades stream for charity. That's gonna be fun. Which means 18,490 left until we reach our goal of 25,000. Which, given we have over 3 weeks left, that definitely should be easily doable. Oh, let me actually close that so I can actually see that corner of chat. That would be bad to leave that open. Because I was just checking the community goal to make sure my number was accurate. Because the thing up top, when it's in the thing, it says what it's rounded up to. Which is not always accurate, so you usually have to check the channel points area to see the actual full-on number. I never did weigh this cake. I should have weighed it. But I'm pretty sure it was probably pretty close to 4 ounces. I completely forgot. I just immediately had started crocheting yesterday. That's a shame. Although total, this is like 4.4 ounces. The bat is. Rather, bats were pre-spinning. It's probably like 4.2 ounces or so. Do 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 do. Also, even if I had put this separately, this area was still gonna look a bit crazy, so I'm just like, you know what, let me just have this stay here, it'll be fine. Because given how dark these colors are here, dark and subdued, this is a nice, interesting pop of color in comparison, and I like it. Plus, given it has bits of neutral color in here, it doesn't completely stand out like a sore thumb in places, which I very much appreciate when it comes to this. Alright, come on. Oh, also anybody who's here now that was not here before, my pin from Debbie Cat, which I have to incline it this way to make sure it doesn't get reflected by the light, just showed up. This is a nice enamel pin. She had done a collaboration with, Kitty Skrillex or something along those lines. My name is blanking on the name. I think I said it earlier, but yeah, I've blanked a little bit. But yeah, nice little collaboration in order to get these printed, which wasn't sure if these were coming back, so I just grabbed one, which this is gonna be my last adorable purchase of the year. I was not expecting this until next week because I just got shipped out like a day or two ago, and it just appeared on my doorstep yesterday, and I was like, okay, cool. And you can see the nice little sparkly bits here and there. It's so cute. Which I also have one or two of those stickers, given the whole, I have one a giveaway or two involving those stickers as well. So I have one or two of those sparkly stickers. But that pumpkin pat has been stupid popular in the channel. And given its non-Halloween like type colors, it works very well. So it's not just limited to Halloween and color palette alone. It could be like a general fall thing, so that works out very, very well. Which, speaking of pumpkins, I might just leave, you know, the pumpkin for the 5K bit thing. At least until winter, and then we will see what I'm gonna do with that emote slot. Probably should sketch out some emotes. Which I have not sketched anything really out in my tablet in a while. That's mainly because I've been doing a whole bunch of crafting and other stuff, so I have not had much of the opportunity to do so. I arguably could do it like first thing in the morning, but my brain is usually not on for that sort of stuff first thing in the morning, so yeah. Usually when it comes to drawing things, it's typically like afternoon and evening where my brain just starts to get into the flow. Alright, we are almost, yeah, a little bit away to the halfway point here of this row. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it through the entirety of the row here. I think we should, though. Because these are long rows, but they're not that lengthy in time. Depending on how much, I concentrate and how much I go on about stuff and things. Although I'm kind of here to go on about stuff and things, so yeah. Hello, very bright green. If I need this to extend any further post all of this yarn, I would probably get like a nice neutral, like a gray. Similar to this gray. Oops. Did not mean to whack my mouse. But yeah, similar to this gray I got here to keep, keep the colors together. Although, arguably with this, I could do whatever the heck I want afterwards. But I figure a neutral would be more fitting. Nope, don't do it. There it is. Then go through the last stitch. Which is always my thing with half doubles sometimes. Tend to not fully go through all 3 stitches, because I'm definitely more used to doing a double crochet where you go through, go through 2 and then go through the next 2. Also, I'm gonna need some water because I feel my throat getting dry for like the 3rd time. My throat doesn't usually get this dry this quickly. Although I think I've probably been chatting a lot today. Which, could be a reason why. I don't know. Just a hunch, maybe. Also, uh-oh. Yeah, I hooked through an area that was not supposed to hook through. Oopsie. But it's fine. This is fine. Yeah, don't do that. Thank yous. You're not making my job easier if you keep doing that. Alright, and let me just chain 2, and then let's give myself some water. Which I had a glass of water before stream, so this is like my 3rd glass of water. Which is arguably a good thing. That's better. Also, I realized I don't think I've asked anybody, what are your weekend plans this weekend? Anything fun or exciting, or is it gonna be a chill time for you guys? Which we're certainly getting to the weather, at least here. It's like, you know, it gets closer and closer to being chill time in time. Wow, chill time indoors all the time. I just, like, skipped words. Oh my gosh, my brain just completely skipped words in that sentence. That's wonderful. There are worse things, arguably. But, you know. Like to, you know, not be almost a verbal word salad. Although it's probably not that bad, but yeah. I like to be comprehensible. Jane, thank you! Thank you for contributing once again to our community challenge for playing Hades for Project Linus. And that should put us at about 8 point... When is GeoGuessr? Not gonna be immediately. Remember, I want to do this all in like a week. I kind of want... I'm thinking if not later this month, probably sometime, I'd say mid-December. Because I want to have it be a time where it's like, you know, a bunch of people could show up. But yeah, that puts us at 34% of our goal. Yay! But yeah, what was the last number I thought of? Okay, so 2,000 off of that, so... Brain, allow me to math. So, let's see... 16,490. Yep. There we go. And also toe beans! I am for toe beans. Toe beans are adorable. I'm always for the toe beans. Toe beans. Aww. Also, it helps the cat looks like it's grinning, which makes it all the more adorable. Copy link. Let's make sure if you want to share it, well, if you want me to share it with the chat, I can put it in there. Which, did I? Okay, yes. It's a JPEG. Cool. Yay! I wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally copy the Discord in there. Awesome! Look at those toe beans. They're incredibly cute and squishy. Much toe bean. He is late. Oh man, of course. Of course. Also, anybody new to the channel, just to let you guys know, the bot just gave you guys my typical stream schedule, which I know given the time change, which time change is almost upon us as well. Just a reminder for anybody here in the US who has to suffer for that, every single year we'll be going an hour back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Sunday. I was about to say Saturday. It's like, nope, not that day. The next day. But yes, typically I am on from about 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, today, and Saturdays. So if you happen to want to catch me, totally check me around those time frames. Although, you know, sometimes I show up late, like I did today, because household chores required my attention, thus I had to put this on a late start time. It happens. And I love it says plus is sometimes a Saturday stream, and it's like, Saturdays are very much guaranteed at this point. Although I have been taking them off when I feel like it, but not chronically. But it's like, they're almost always guaranteed. But I'm trying to be better about, you know, actually taking breaks, like I should be. Because breaks are important. Plus, sometimes I just don't have the battery to people with you guys sometimes, which, that is nothing on you, just sometimes my brain is just like, nope, don't want to people. Let me just, you know, sit here, stare at YouTube, and or do other stuff. Which, speaking of stuff, I should probably work on that form for, you know, giveaway items and stuff. So I'm making a Google form to make my life a lot easier, because, you know, sometimes having to chase you guys to get the things, get the information to send you guys the things is a pain. Which, that is nothing on you guys, but it's just like, I kind of want a more fluid process when it comes to that, so tis form, which I'm probably gonna have to make a command to have that, if not go in chat, potentially go into your PMs. Although having commands go into the PMs with the Streamlabs bot, I need to get that to work. That's one of those things that I've had issue getting to, you know, actually do the thing. So I have that idea for, you know, commands, but it won't let me do it, so it's just like, But yeah, hopefully I'll figure that out at some point. Alright, are we gonna get to the other side by the end of... Nope. More than likely that's not happening. But it's fine though. 'Tis fine. Also, whoops, there it is. But yeah, this definitely should be warm. It's gonna be nice and fun to wear. Although, the thing is, I have a feeling this is gonna have to be something I wear with, like, darker clothing, because if I wear this with, like, equally bright clothing, it's gonna be a visual punch in the face to anybody who sees it. I feel like. Not that I'm really going out terribly much for that, so... But we're not too far, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna finish this, like, before stream's over. Which I don't really want to do any terribly much in the way of overtime today, which given I started late, so I have to go on a bit later to do the whole 3-hour thing, plus laundry. The putting away of laundry requires my presence and attention, unfortunately, so yeah, I gotta get that done. And then I could stare at YouTube and such for a bit. Oh, also, in the way of pins, I think Devi still has a couple of these available in her Ko-fi shop. So if you want one, it is certainly likely applicable. It's one of those while supplies last sort of thing. Membership. Nope. Shop. I'm dumb. Oh, the console pin thing is still there. I should have bought that when I last saw it. Okay, there's only 8 of them left right now, but they're still available. So if you definitely want to get your hands on this very cute pin, definitely feel free to check out Debbie Cat's shop. Yeah, it's stinking cute. Honestly, if I had known like this might or might not come back, like if I thought I could wait, honestly would have waited just for a slight bit of funds. But it's not expensive. It's $13 plus about 7 more for shipping. 7.5, so call it $21. Which is not bad for an enamel pin at all. Also, just a general question out there, what would you guys like to see out of my YouTube channel? Which, yes, I have not put anything on there in definitely about 11 months, close to a year now. Just because, one, the whole computer catastrophe from last year / early this year. But just a whole bunch of doing other things. There's not been getting into it, which I'm also pondering if I should change it to the name that I have for my art Tumblr, just because I do certainly a lot of art stuff on there. Like, that is my main thing on there, so I feel like it would make more sense. The thought came to me yesterday, and I was just like, it would probably be more prudent for me to do so, although I'd probably have to draw a banner. Although, I actually wouldn't mind that. But I just have to sit there and figure that out first. Which I do have some ideas on stuff and things I want to do on there. Like a couple of things, like maybe talk about some historical stuff while drawing some things. Like that sort of deal. For fun. I feel like that would be an interesting time. Also, if I'm out of frame, that is my bad. Actually, let's actually have OBS in my face and see about not doing that. That would probably help matters also. Whoops. I wound that around my hook twice. You're not doing half trouble crochet. Although, how would that look in comparison to this? I wonder. Yeah, that'd be a little bit taller. I don't need it to be that tall. It's fine. Nope. It's split. There it is. the hell? No. Apparently some likely scam calls. Because apparently there's a scam call thing that my phone company has. But it's only for like likely scam calls. You can block those from coming through, which is nice. So my phone stops ringing like 15 different times for like no reason. I do wish it would allow you to be able to file, you know, certain numbers under scam. Because typically, if a number is calling me and it's not a number already in my phone, most cases, although there's like one or two exceptions, it's likely gonna be scam. Almost there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can go to the rest of this. I wasn't sure how close I'd be by the time we hit 3. So... And I mean as in 3 hours, because I know it's almost 4:30. So let me keep going till the end of this row here. And then I'm gonna probably call it a stream and see who we can go host. Which I have 1 or 2 people potentially in mind. Because I know they are likely to be online at this point in time. Come on. Nope. Why? Although one of them just hosted like Wednesday, so probably not gonna go there. Not that I don't enjoy their company, but it's like I'm trying not to go the exact same people every single time when I'm hosting. Try to at least mix it up a little bit, maybe. Nope. There we go. Almost there. Alright, and then do that. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll start the whole thing, but I'll do that later. Just wanted to make sure I ended the row. Okay, how many rows of this do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Personalized patchwork. Hi, I'm sorry. Yeah. Normally I wouldn't even be here right now, but I got started a bit late. So I'm here for the general 3-hour window. But how are you doing? How goes your Friday? Well, the latter half of your Friday, it's, what, 8:30 for you? Because I know time change and all this time has made us a little bit closer for this week. Because we are gonna be back to our usual separation by the time the Sunday rolls around. Yay! Not bad. Pulled out sweater that I had sitting in my basket of stuff, and I worked on that a bit. Not feeling the greatest, but that's only because, you know, unfun time of, you know, month and stuff. So that's always fun. Alright, let's see who is around. Let's get that off of there. But yeah, other than that, I'm good. Alright. Yeah, I'll just leave it here for the moment, and then once I'm getting ready to know where we're gonna go, probably gonna put it on my face. Alright, K-Bay's on, Punk Pixie. Oh, Chai Pie, that sounds good. Okay, there's Hinkenitz, Suspicious Tumble. Both places I haven't really been. And they both have about the same amount of streamers, so I think we'll go to Suspicious Tumble, because Suspicious Tumble I definitely have not been in as much. So let me open that up and then allow the ad that'll more than likely make its presence known. Do the thing for a bit and then we'll head over there. But I do want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I very much appreciate it. Okay, I have been over there, but probably during raids. And maybe one time I've lurked. I didn't say subscription. Although I do need to adjust that. Because I'm a dumb and I forgot that I put Liz's channel onto a thing. I was supposed to end that. So, let's see. Mute tab. Oh, armor painting. Ooh. That sounds like it should be fun. And yep. Oh, Call of Duty with their very unoriginal game premise. And it looks like zombie bad guys. Yeah, yep, completely unoriginal, as always. Anyhow. Can you tell I don't like the Call of Duty games? Can you tell? I need to get my Swift and Winder out, but that's, yeah, yep. Cats will likely need to be having their nap time before you even do that. Also, the camera looks a little blurry. Is it just me? It's cloudy. Yeah. Actually, no, it's actually not that bad, but I think because it's not that bright right now, it's not bright enough. Right here is a little bit dark. Because remember, Windows relation to me, over here is going to be the dark area, which is why I need lamp and stuff. Anyhow, Stacy, thank you for the bits. I very much appreciate it. Jane, thank you for the resub. And Lady Temptress, thank you for the follow, which I'm going to have to make sure I remember that because there's the Lady Empress too. So that's really close in name. Alrighty. I'm going to do the thing and then go host Suspicious Temple.